Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. June 11th, 2022. I'm Aaron Phillips. Welcome to Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. Come to you live from the Go Live Vegas studios in the heart of Las Vegas. He's already playing with me on the camera angles there. Coming to you live from the Go Live Vegas studios in the heart of Las Vegas. Hot Vegas is really the tune today. We're hitting those triple digits. Driving here to the studio at about 8 a.m. Pacific time. It was already 102 in my car. But in the studio, it's a comfy 80 degrees. I've got the air blowing right behind me on my back, so that makes things pretty cool, so to speak. Thank you for tuning in. 702-329-6947 is the telephone number. Press the number 1. 1-855-502-4321. Press 1. Also, for those of you out of the country, my friend Healy should probably be chiming in here momentarily. I am monitoring our chat room. Of course, I want to thank you there as well. Also, you can send me a message through Twitter, hashtag Aaron's Hour LV. We'll use that one. I think that's my phone. Is that my phone? Which I blame you for because you had me test the app. That's why. Rule number 1, you always leave your phone on silent. And there's nothing worse than when the host himself doesn't listen to that rule. Anyway, thank you for joining us. And, of course, a special shout-out to everybody listening right now on the Go Live Vegas mobile app. If you have Alexa, just turn to Alexa and say, hey, Alexa, go play Go Live Vegas radio. And it'll pop up. And make sure that you can hear us what's going on. Santa Barbara, Laurel Brown. Thank you, Laura, for chiming in. We appreciate it. 702-329-6947. Please feel free to share the feed with your friends on your wall. All right. As is customary, and I got a packed show, folks, so I'm going to tell you right now, more than likely we're going to be going in overtime. So don't expect an official sign-off at 1 o'clock. So we'll probably go. I got a packed show. I'll tell you what, I love packed shows. My first guest coming up after the break, a gentleman I met at the Celebrity Grudge Match golf event, I think I spoke about a couple of months. Is it a couple of months already, I think? 2 months ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. I saw a guy, really good-looking guy, bald head goatee. You can see why I'm, favored to that. With glasses also, by the way, except my goatee was a little different color back then. And he happens to represent a financial company. His name is Bernard Barchi, Big B Financial. Now, listen, you hear the term financial, you think financial planners, yada, yada, yada. Okay, this guy's not the typical financial planner. He's an educator, he's an informer, and he does what's best for his clients. Okay, so I have Bernard coming up after the break. Then, Marsigliano's Pizza, voted number 29 out of 100 per Yelp across the country. Hello, Jennifer. Richie, I've been trying to get him to come into the studio, but of course, when you run a restaurant like he does, getting him to come in on a Saturday at 12 o'clock is tough. So this past week, my producer and I, we went down to his restaurant. We actually recorded his interview, so we'll run that today. And then, listen, this is a first for me. I've never had an opportunity to interview an Emmy award-winning director, producer, entrepreneur. This is a first for me, an Emmy winner. I kind of wish I should have told him to bring the Emmy. That'd be pretty cool to put up here on the desk. But Kelly, you pronounce it Schwarze or Schwarze? Schwarze, like there would be a T in there, right? All right. Kelly Schwarze, there you go. Movie to Hilton's a studio here in Vegas, which we'll talk about. I want to thank my producer for hooking me up with Kelly to have him come on. I can't wait to talk to him. So we had a lot going on. 702-329-6947 is our number. Okay. As always, listen, I tell people that Las Vegas, by the way, I got to take a drink out of my cheesy mug. This is what we call a cheap plug for our mugs, which you can get on golive.vegas. It's an 11-ounce mug for $14.99. Anyway, there you go. There's a shot for it there on the website. I feel like QVC when I do this. But all the shows here at Go Live, you can get mugs, you can get posters, you can get all kinds of good, and they're good mugs, man. I just bought a couple for Thoughts Count Anywhere, and if Luke Azar is listening, I invested in a couple of mugs for Black Tie Vegas, but all the shows are there. There you go. There's the Thoughts Count Anywhere mug. But they're great mugs, as I keep plugging my mug. Anyway, all right. So I keep telling people that Las Vegas over the years, what are we, about 150 years old, whatever our town is, this town was not built on winners, okay? If anybody thinks that, you're in the wrong town, okay? Or I want some of whatever it is you're smoking. So, but there are people that win, and usually we hear stories about people who are coming in as a tourist on a vacation. They come in, they play where they're saying, and they win, and they take the money to go home. But here's the cool thing. I got a couple of stories where a couple of locals actually won some money here in town, which is really cool. So we had a local Las Vegas win $300,000 jackpot at Eliante Casino this past week. Boyd Gaming sent news on Wednesday. $300,000 jackpot playing the IGT's Game King. It was a video poker sequential royal flush progressive. The casino said the guest who lived in the Eliante area for more than a decade was playing video poker at approximately 2:30 p.m., right in the middle of the afternoon. You can't ask for a better nooner than that, right? After making only a $5 wager, this individual took home, well, didn't take home after Uncle Sam gets their piece, $314,000. It's not a bad midweek payoff, is it? I bet you'd want to know who they are. I'm pointing to Bernard, by the way. He's off to my right here. You'd probably want to know who that person is, right? Get to talk to them. And I got another one for you. Now, people know downtown, El Cortez and California and all the great places down there. Richie Garcia, you're trying to tune in. Well, obviously you're in because you're in my chat room, so hopefully you can hear us. Richie from Minnesota. So downtown, another win because El Cortez has been hot. If you want a place downtown that's been hot and giving out payouts and winning jackpots, man, the El Cortez is the place to be. So the casino sent news that another local won $250,000 on this past Monday. The local hit 9 out of 10 betting on a $13 Circus Keno with a 10-time multiplier, which resulted in the jackpot. El Cortez Hotel and Casino says that they now have 30% looser slots than the Las Vegas Strip. 30%. Well, I guess it paid off because Keno's got to be one of the worst games to play to win. I mean, that's like throwing darts at the board, kind of, to get your numbers, right? So there you go. 2 local winners that expect a call from Bernard soon to talk to you. Of course, we don't make that information public, so. All right, and the last thing, in case you didn't see it, Katy Perry. Mr. Producer, did you see this? Because you're into following all this stuff. Are you awake over there? I'm busy. Oh, he's busy. By the way, he's busy because we're only multicasting like 1,000 different platforms at the same time. Katy Perry, the pop singer, of course, she actually got a key to the city this past week. Clark County Commissioner Tick Sagerblom, as well as Resorts World President Scott Sabella and AG Concerts West Vice President John Nelson, received the key at an outdoor ceremony and spoke about her family's long history in Vegas. Quote, "I have lots of roots here, and this just feels so natural to be here," said Perry at the resort, which broadcasts the reception, features a large LED screen that can be seen from miles. So they actually projected this on the LED screen on the side of the hotel. How cool is that? Driving down 15 or wherever you can see the hotel, and poof, there's Katy Perry's face live, right? Her parents met here and got married here, so it's only natural that she would be on. So she's doing a residency here. It's called Play, and that's going to be playing through October, where she will be continuing her residence. You get information. Let's see. They have extended 8 more shows into the month of October. October 5, 7, 8, 14, 15, 19, 21, and 22. I just feel like I played Keno there, just announcing those numbers. And all the information about the residence is available on Katy Perry's website. So there you have it. Katy Perry getting the key to the city. Winners local, and yet Lake Mead is down 30% in water. I don't want to scare anybody, but that was announced this week. So please, be water smart. Don't run your water when you're brushing your teeth, which I'm guilty of. But I lived with a family when I was in college. This is really disgusting. I'm going to share the story anyway. They saved water where I rented a room in my days in college at Penn State. I was up in Erie, Pennsylvania for 2 years. And I rented a converted garage, and the family decided to conserve water by not flushing the toilet often. So, right, somebody just said "ooh" in the background, and that was what it was kind of like, is you just didn't know what you're going to walk into. So that's why I flush as many times as I possibly can, because I want to get that vision out of my head and the aroma as well. But anyway, with that, so please conserve your water. Exactly.
That's awful.
If you see sprinklers that are broken or whatever, please make sure that you call the water authority or potentially the property owner. And also, too, with the triple digits, man, stay hydrated. Those of you coming out here to Vegas think you don't need it. Stay hydrated. And if you have an elderly neighbor, please, by all means, go knock on their door, make sure they're okay, make sure that they're taken care of as well. All right. I'm going to take a break a few minutes early so we can get started with our guests. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you have any questions that you would want to ask a financial planner, now would be the time to call in at not now, after break, when I have them up here. 702-329-6947. Press the number 1 to come into the studio. talk with Bernard Barchi. He'll be sitting next to me when we come back from break. He owns Big B Financial. I dig it. Lots of B's in the name. You're watching Aaron's Hour. I'm Aaron Phillips with some semblance of a voice today. Good luck the rest of the way. Hey, we'll be right back.
Do you miss the taste of classic Italian food? Marsigliano's Pizza and More was recently voted number 29 in the country for its great tasting pizza, pastas, parmigianas, strombolis, and desserts. If it's not on the menu, owner Richie will have it made for you. Marsigliano's can now take care of all your catering needs. Marsigliano's is located at 8125 West Sahara Avenue. Whether it's dine-in, take-out, or delivery, you'll love the food and keep coming back. Call 702-979-9222. That's 702-979-9222 to enjoy the best Italian food in Vegas.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Live Vegas Studios, a unique multi-camera social media virtual content creators paradise. We offer high-end services using live streaming and film production for your personal or corporate, commercial or event and campaign needs. Pre-record or live stream to your audience on multiple social media platforms simultaneously. Fun and interactive with social media comments, phone lines, live remotes, audio Foley sounds, and Snapchat filters. Be creative, get recognized, and make money. We help you by providing an all in-house production team. Visit our website at golive.vegas.
All right, welcome back. Aaron's, last week when I came into the studio, this studio had 14 cameras. Then I come in this morning, starting off with ThoughtsCon Anywhere, and I'm told by my producer that somebody gave him a couple of cameras that were like wireless cameras, so we hooked those up. There's 16 cameras floating around this studio, and when he has them all on his screen, it's like looking at Hollywood squares. Because you never know. See, look at it. I mean, you can see see, there's one right there, which I think is somewhere over here. I don't even know where they're all located. Got one over here. That's the phone. Got one. I mean, it's all over, which is kind of cool. I'm over here somewhere. Right? So anyway, you just never know where the camera's going to pop up. That's why I don't play to the camera much. Anyway, welcome back. Now it's time for some educational information. My guest, not a lookalike, not my doppelganger. Okay. I posted the promo about you coming on, and somebody thought that I took a new headshot thinking it was me. But joining me now is the owner of Big B Financial, Mr. Bernard Barchi. And his resume, we'll talk about all of this, but one thing you may not know about it, which you probably don't know unless you know him. Okay, you ready for this one? He was a pastry chef before getting into financial planning and doing what you do. I guess you want to make dough no matter where you go.
Yeah, true.
You know I was going to use that line, right? I said it during the break. So welcome to the show, my friend.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Welcome. It's so cool. So let's talk about you. You graduated from Duquesne, so you got the East Coast connections like I do. Mm-hmm. First, the pastry industry. How did you get into that? Why that industry?
Well, I always wanted to work with my hands, and construction was the thing. But
okay,
I always worked with Grandma in the kitchen, and then I just said, you know what, that's working with my hands.
There you go.
So I ended up getting a pastry degree and a culinary degree. So I was certified in both of those areas.
Okay. Did you get them out here, or is that all back east also?
Well, Johnson Wells in Rhode Island was for the pastry degree, and then the Culinary Institute of Pennsylvania is where I did the culinary.
Oh, right on. So how long were you a chef?
33 years.
33 years. What was your favorite dish you like to make?
To be honest, I love working with seasonal products.
Really?
And an infusion style.
What was the most requested dish people had you make?
Everything had to do with seafood.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And then how long ago, what got you out of that? Why did you make that? I mean, 33 years is a long time to be in a career. Mm-hmm. So why the change? What changed for you?
I had a 24-year-old son that called me up one day and said, hey, Dad, can you come down for my birthday?
Okay.
I said, dude, you know my schedule.
Oh, okay.
And then I just said, you know what? What am I doing? There's something better out there. So I just, sat. I was a I was a partner in a USDA food processing plant, and I was a corporate executive chef for the Hakkasan Group.
Okay.
I sat there for about 20 minutes and said, I'm done. I'm just finishing it up, and I'm going to go figure out what I'm going to do and just start something new.
And so you made this, why into, I'll just call it financial planning for the sake of a better description. You're going to define what you do better. If financial planning is the way it's the easiest, that's fine. But why into that? Why into the financial field, I guess is my question.
At my age, I decided, you know what, I don't have time to reinvent myself, so I'm going to pick an industry that I'm never going to have to figure out what to do, and I was only looking for wealth building strategies.
Okay.
So everything I use, I offer.
Okay.
And then all that I did is I just decided, you know, if I can do this, so can anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to have my value from being a chef to where I am now with my company, to do 20 times, anybody can do this. So my company is just in an educational process of teaching people how to use wealth building strategies that have been used by banks, corporations in the upper 1%, which is now 5%.
Okay.
They're
Right.
learning how to do it too.
Right. I want to go back. I want you to repeat a couple of words that you just said, is that you are educating. Your business is educating.
Yes.
Say that again.
We're a financial literacy company teaching wealth building strategies.
And I love that because only within the last couple of years in our school systems are they finally figured out, at least for seniors, how to like bounce a checkbook. Not that anybody uses a handwritten checkbook anymore, but still how to just even address finances.
And that doesn't build wealth either.
No, it doesn't. No, you're 100%
Which is
right.
scary.
It doesn't
Yeah.
build wealth. And I think that's the other thing is that you teach people with your methods and education. I shouldn't say methods, but your education on how to build wealth with cause and effect. Everything we do, right, has a cause and effect, both
Absolutely.
positively and negatively. Talk about that for a second.
Yeah, well, the biggest thing is if we can go and we can focus on the cause of the reasons why where we are right now, we can change the effect. So credit. I mean, credit is an issue that, you know, if they teach you this in school, you won't have all these credit repair companies that you have right now.
Ain't that the truth?
And if they teach you that wealth is created not by getting a job and working, you know, tons of hours like I did as a chef, that, you know, starting to put money away and put it into, you know, investments that are building wealth, not a savings account that you're going to spend later.
Right.
So those strategies should be taught in school. And I already tried to get in Clark County School District. Didn't work yet, but I'll figure out how to get in there.
Okay. All right. I may know a couple of people that maybe can help.
Awesome.
Hi, Krista up in Canada. Krista Elicus is watching. Krista Elicus Oliveris. I'm just going to continue saying Krista. Okay. What I think is important, and you stress this, creating wealth, right? That's because it doesn't just. I mean, unless you're lucky enough to hit a jackpot, right?
Even then, you'll lose that after a while.
Right, you'll lose that. Right, you'll lose some of it because you got to sign that W-9, right away. It's a W-9, right? That's what they sign. Is that what they sign when you win a jackpot, whatever it is? And you know you're going to give a percentage to the government almost right away. But you're talking about a way to wealth is created; it just doesn't happen.
Yes.
How do we create wealth?
You have to plan on it. You got to know the strategies that are used by the ones that have been doing this for almost 250 years.
Okay.
So once you learn the strategies, it's not hard.
Okay.
And it's your wealth needs to be created. It's like planting seeds. It just doesn't grow overnight.
Okay.
So as you plant this now, you start up young. Oh my God, you're set for the rest of your life.
Sure.
When you're a little older, like myself, you have to be a little bit more aggressive about doing it. And I know there's a lot of baby boomers that are retiring right now. Not good. And especially when they don't have any plans, you know, the good thing there's Walmart and Home Depot. So, you know, we can go greet them at the doors.
All right. All I think about is Jeff Dunham. You know who the comedian is, right? Jeff Dunham. And he does a skit with Walter, the old fudgety guy. And he talks about how Walter just got a job at Walmart, and all he says is, welcome to Walmart. Get your stuff and get the hell out. You know, it's just that crotchety old guy. So can you give just one example? Because I know you have tutorials and you do some YouTube clips and Facebook stuff. Can you give just one or two examples of what you're referring to as ways to build wealth? Just one or two. I don't want you to give away the shop.
And you know, the scary thing is people out there, and I call it the Matrix, so the ones in the Matrix buy life insurance. Now, the ones in the real world use life insurance. Now, banks use life insurance, corporations use life insurance. And when you think about it, there's no life involved into that. So how could they use life insurance? So there's a strategy they use behind it, and they're doing it for a certain reason. Now, the bank strategies of utilizing life insurance is for protection, and they're protecting the money.
Okay.
So what you end up doing is, if you guys are familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, he has a saying that's
Yes.
savers are losers.
Right.
Okay, so the idea of using an insurance policy is never losing your money.
Okay.
It's building wealth. It's uninterrupted compound growth, and you get to still use money, but you end up using the insurance company's money. Never lose yours, build theirs. Now, banks make money by using our money. Banks don't even guarantee the safety of our money.
Right.
The government does, the FDIC.
Right.
So the banks lock it into cash value life insurance policies to protect the money.
Gotcha.
Government can't touch life insurance. It's
Gotcha.
a private contract.
Okay.
So it's a powerful strategy of building wealth where the Matrix buys it and they think you have to die to use it. No, you don't. You could use this and build your wealth. I fund my business using this.
Gotcha.
That's why I started offering this.
702-329-6947. Press the number 1 to come into the studio with your question. If you're outside the United States, 1-855-502-4321. Or ask your question in the chat room. I would prefer that you call in. I think that's more exciting, but you can post a question in the chat room. Laurel says, wealth building info, we all need it. Certainly does. And Krista says, good information, keep up the good work. So let me ask you this question. So what's, in your opinion, what's the youngest age somebody should start learning about financial independence, we'll just call it, or financial freedom or wealth?
Well, when we start at the beginning, the wealthier are going to insure their children on day 15.
Okay.
Okay, you can't do it any sooner. They do it exactly on day 15, and there's 2 reasons why they do this strategy.
Okay.
Most of us won't buy life insurance on our children because we think it's like creating a voodoo doll
Okay.
and sticking pins in
Sure,
it.
sure.
Been down that road, so I was the same way. But they do that because it starts building wealth for them. They start creating a bank for these kids.
Okay.
And your child will never be in debt if you go to college.
Right.
You can end up using this and fund your college funds. Main reason why they do it is they'll never have to show proof of insurance again.
Gotcha.
As you get older, you take a term policy, it's going to run out. And then you have to transfer it over to a permanent policy.
Right.
It's really pricey.
Okay.
So you insure the children. It doesn't matter what goes on. Credit doesn't matter. Anything, the health changing. It's just now they're insured. So, and when you start younger doing this, you can't really start a bank until you're 18 years old and you have income. So once you do that, we're able to get as much money into this as you possibly can. Because if you can pay your bills and lock 50 to 60% of your money into it while you still pay your bills, build your wealth at the same time, would you do it?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So the 10% pay yourself rule, they always used to say that. Is that something also that you think is part of a process for people to build wealth? Or is that just
Absolutely.
doing like an eyedropper's worth of help?
It depends where you put it.
Okay.
Like I said, you put it in a bank paying you 0.01%,
Sure. Right,
7,200 years to double your money.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
7,200
200
years to double your money?
And guess what? Inflation's going up, but you don't see the banks giving you any extra money.
No,
for
they're
it.
not. I remember when Christmas clubs used to be the thing back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, you collect your chore money. Your mom and dad would take it to the bank. You open up a $500 Christmas club or whatever it is to put it in, and you're getting 2-3% on that, and you think you're making money.
Mm-hmm.
But 7,200 years.
How'd you like to do 33.33% a year?
I would love to do 33.
We have those. And it's just like I said, the rich are rich for a reason.
Or,
Those
of
are the
course.
strategies that we use.
Well, what's the old saying? I mean, I'm going to paraphrase it, so I'm not going to be 100% right. If there's some way or something you want to do or achieve or be like, you always hang around people that are doing what you want to do.
Success leaves clues.
So it seems to be kind of that same thing. I mean, why should we reinvent the wheel? If we already have the formula
Absolutely.
to get successful, why do we have to remake something, right?
Yeah, the wealth gap in the United States is outrageous. Okay, but we can narrow.
And it's
the
only
wealth.
getting worse. Would you say that?
Absolutely.
Right.
Because all that we're doing is we're putting ourselves more in credit card debt.
Right.
What we have to do is we stop that. I can do this. Anybody can do this.
Right.
33 years in the Matrix. I mean, not 33 years.
Right,
but
sure,
50,
sure.
50 plus years in
Right,
the Matrix.
right.
If I can do this, anybody can. And I always end my live Facebook saying, guys, if I can do this, I'm a former chef. You can do this too.
Right.
You just have to learn the strategies.
So let me ask you a question. I'm going to give you a scenario because what you just said with putting stuff away and paying bills. I mean, we know wages don't keep up with inflation, right? We know that for a fact.
Absolutely.
You have a single parent. Gas prices are now over $5 a gallon. They got to drop their children off at daycare before they go to work. They got to hustle around town. If wages are not being kept up with inflation and the cost, I mean, I never thought I'd walk into a supermarket and see empty shelves, in my lifetime at least. How can anybody expect to build wealth if they're even having trouble keeping up with paying the bills because of wages and inflation out of balance and still trying to survive day to day?
Because they don't know what they're doing to that extent of, there's different strategies that you can do this to get yourself out of there.
So if somebody's making a couple of grand a month and their expenses are $3,000 versus $2,000, they can still do stuff to plan for the future.
Absolutely.
All right.
We all can do this. I said
dig
the
it.
rich are rich for a reason.
Exactly. I like it. I'm just kind of pondering all that in my head. All right, we're going to step aside for our quick break here at the bottom of the hour. Good stuff. Give us a call, 702-329-6947. Press the number 1 to come into the studio to chat and ask your question of Bernard. You can put it in the chat room. This is good stuff, man. We may have to just do a whole clinic on all of this stuff, or maybe we can get him to do his own show here. Wink, wink. You're watching Aaron's Hour. We'll be right back.
Do you miss the taste of classic Italian food? Marsigliano's Pizza and More was recently voted number 29 in the country for its great tasting pizza, pastas, parmesanas, strombolis, and desserts. If it's not on the menu, owner Richie will have it made for you. Marsigliano's can now take care of all your catering needs. Marsigliano's is located at 8125 West Sahara Avenue. Whether it's dine-in, take-out, or delivery, you'll love the food and keep coming back. Call 702-979-9222. That's 702-979-9222 to enjoy the best Italian food in Vegas.
Go Live Vegas Studios, a unique multi-camera social media virtual content creators paradise. We offer high-end services using live streaming and film production for your personal or corporate, commercial or event and campaign needs. Pre-record or live stream to your audience on multiple social media platforms simultaneously. Fun and interactive with social media comments, phone lines, live remotes, audio Foley sounds, and Snapchat filters. Be creative, get recognized, and make money. We help you by providing an all in-house production team. Visit our website at golive.vegas.
All right, Aaron Phillips back with Aaron. Man, what's that character? It's like, I have to still do wrestling tonight. I have commentary. I have a 3-hour card tonight that I have to do commentary for. God only knows how I'm going to do it with this voice. Anyway, welcome back to Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. My guest is the owner of Be Big Financial, Mr. Bernard Barchi is here. We're talking about wealth development and things to do, that things really people don't know. And he's an educator. He's not going to sit down and tell you budgeting may be part of it, but he's going to teach you. He's going to give you the tools on how to build wealth starting yesterday to move forward. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, you need to learn how to use life insurance,
Right.
not buy it. Yes.
Right. Absolutely. All right. So you touched on the banking system, and I want to talk about that for a second. We just think, we direct deposit, our money goes into the bank, we pull it out, we write checks, and it disappears. What do you teach about the banking system or what do you share? I don't want to say teach, that people may not know about the banking system?
I call them criminals.
Oh,
Okay?
Okay.
Because we give our money to them and they don't even give us anything back. They lend our money out immediately. Once it hits the account, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've done some research. If you drop 10K in and then you ran over and came back 3 hours later, you want to take that money out, it's not going to happen that day. So it might take you a day or two to get
right.
it.
Transactions generally don't happen that fast
Well, but
because they're moving money around.
Absolutely.
Right. That makes sense. Krista would like to know, how much does your course cost?
Free. And it's free just because if I can do this, anybody else can do this. So Be Big Financial, we use the name Be Big because we can help everybody be big. We can take your vision big. We'll teach you how assets are the most important thing to build your net worth. Like I said, my company's 20 times the volume. And if I could do this, anybody can do this. You just got to learn the strategies to get it done.
Now, in order for Krista to reach out and find out more, they have to call you or reach out to you. What's the best way? Give us websites, Facebook, phone numbers, emails, whatever you got.
Yeah, and you can follow me on my Facebook page, which is Be Big. The name of the company is BBIG. Be Your, all one word, own banker. I do topics all the time. And, if I meet a client or something else just pops up, that's it just sporadically comes. So the best way to reach me is my email address, which is BARCHIE, so it's my first name, last name, at bebigfinancial.com. Just reach out. All this stuff is free. We'll set up a Zoom, and I'll explain to you how these strategies work. And then I'll show you some alternative assets that have zero market risk that I end up using, and I use insurance companies' money to do it, not my own money. That's how you should gamble in Vegas.
Right. Well, we should always make money on somebody else's money, right? That's what the banks are doing, basically.
Yeah, humongous stuff.
Chris, just give Bernard a call or an email, and it's a one-on-one conversation. Yeah, I know. It's not necessarily online. It's a call. He'll talk with you, or a Zoom call. He'll connect with you, and it's a one-on-one conversation. Thank you, Laurel. bbarchi at bbigfinancial.com. There you go. Laurel popped it up in there for you, Chris, so you can email him there or check him out. Give the Facebook page again.
It's BBIG, so Be Big, Be Your, all one word, own banker. That'll be where all of those topics will come through.
There you go. So it's all there. So the bank, listen, it's everybody wants to use somebody else's money to make money, right? I mean, that's what we all do. And you bring up insurance companies, and I'm sure you hear this a lot. We pay our monthly premium to insurance companies, even whether it's health insurance or life insurance or whatever. And, we pay these insurances, quite frankly, hoping to never, ever have to use them, of course, except for the ultimate one, when you pass on. And yet it's such a struggle with some insurance companies to get your money back because of an incident. And we know it's because they want, I shouldn't say we know, I believe they just want to hold on to the money as long as possible to keep making money on your money before they make a payout. Is that a fair assessment?
Absolutely, but remember, you're talking about claims.
Well, that's true.
And
That's true.
you're not dying for this strategy. Now, the insurance companies don't like this strategy because they got to make money off of our money.
Sure,
too.
sure.
However, you can design these policies to become banking, so you can take these loans. Now, if you're going to borrow money from a bank, you have to pay it back, right? Mm-hmm. Now, do you have to pay back? You're borrowing money from an insurance company. Do you have to pay it back?
One would presume not, because they're not a bank.
Well, you do, but you have to do it when you pass away. So these are loans that you can be taking all the time while you're building your wealth.
So basically you can stiff them, so to speak.
Well, until you pass away, absolutely.
Right, well, thank you. Pass away stiff. He caught it. That's But, okay, I see what you're saying. I mean, they're until you pass away. So who then would be responsible for paying it back? Any heirs, or basically the policy is done?
No, what happens is you're going to have it's an increasing death benefit.
Okay.
So these death benefits never decrease. So they're always going to constantly be increasing.
Okay.
So all they're going to do is take it off before they give the beneficiaries the rest of the money.
Gotcha.
And it's all tax-free withdrawals, guys. That's the power behind using it.
Pre-tax.
No.
The withdrawals out of the insurance company.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
That's the reason why
gotcha.
the wealthy use it, because it's tax-free money. That's why the banks use it.
Right. That makes sense.
They use insurance companies' money to lend you. Now, you have to pay the bank back, but the banks don't have to pay the insurance company back.
Wow.
Success leaves clues.
So if I'm paying insurance companies, I'm in essence borrowing from my own money.
Kinda, but you never touch your money,
No.
borrow theirs.
Right.
Yours is collateral.
Right. Wow.
So you just use yours as leverage, because that's what you want to do. Leverage is the key to wealth creation.
This is just burning the wood in my brain right now. I have just so many wows, aha moments. That's. Oof. So,
I almost died.
No. So I want to give an example. The Big Financial's been around, what, 2 years, a couple of years, right?
Yeah, February 2020.
So if just to give you an idea of how much this man has an inkling of what he's doing, in 2021, the total net worth of Big was about $250,000, $250,000. Well, in 1 year, in 2022, it's up to $1.4 million. So in a year's time, you've multiplied that out by 3.
Net worth.
Net worth, right. Net worth, right.
Yes.
So, folks, if that doesn't give you an inkling of how this man knows his stuff, and I could say this because I'm on the internet, he knows his shit, then that just growing his own thank you, just growing his own business, even the delay button has a delay in the studio, that he knows his stuff to be able to grow his own business.
And that's all we're trying to do is teach people you got to buy assets. We'll show you how it's done.
God, I love it. I'm sorry, my mind. So one thing, my mind is churning. I'm like 60 questions ahead of myself because now I'm thinking about myself and my family. There's something that I think is important with all this that I don't want to lose sight of. We're building wealth, obviously, for retirement and things like that, so those of us can live comfortably as we go on. But let's face it, I think everybody in this studio, everybody involved, everybody listening, we want to do certain things to leave a legacy for those behind us, family, grandchildren, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How does this lend itself to being more, to be a legacy? Tell us how that's built into all of this.
I did it myself with my family. I mean, if I would have passed away as a chef, what would I have left my son?
Not much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A death benefit is what he would have had, but if not knowing what to do with it, it would disappear.
Mm-hmm.
They say that money that's passed down to your generation, to your family, that you think you're leaving a legacy, by the second generation, 75% of that wealth is gone. By the third generation, all of it's gone.
Really?
So if you don't teach your family how to do the exact same thing, take that money, reinvest. If you're given a death benefit, God forbid something happens,
sure.
that money needs to be reinvested into the family banks
Okay.
and assets that you start building your net worth. I'm teaching my son how to do that, so I'm going to change a legacy for our family
Okay.
so he can teach his children how to do the exact same thing.
So it's basically duplicating the formula
all
that
it
one
is.
would do now for themselves, just basically educating them how to do it upon getting those benefits when that time comes.
Absolutely.
As the legacy.
Yeah, but even that, when you teach them how to even use a bank and start building financial stuff through your bank.
Right.
Kids need to, you got kids, you got a bank. Kids say, hey, mommy, I want a bike. Daddy, I want a bike.
Right.
Let's go take a look at your bank. Let's see how much you got.
Right.
Now you take it out and say, hey, we got enough in there. Go buy the bike. And then teach your kids how to pay the bank back. But who are they paying it back to? They're paying it back to themselves.
Right.
And that's the
makes
whole
sense.
thing. Now you're teaching them how to be able to use their money and move their money.
So Krista shares with us via our chat room, insurance company will charge a small percentage of money against money you take out, but does not need to be paid until death or if you choose to. Is that correct?
Yes.
Quote unquote?
Yeah, they charge you a simple interest. Now, the bank is going to charge you an interest rate which is outrageous, and you have to qualify for it. Since you have cash value available, no qualifications. Don't check your credit score. You don't have to have a JOB to pay it back, and I use it like a dirty word. So,
Just over broke is what JOB stands for, by the way.
or jump off the bridge.
Oh, there you
absolutely.
go.
So you can use that strategy. And like I said, you don't have to pay these back now. You're growing your money at 3% guaranteed, plus it pays dividends. And dividends get paid to you. You don't need to own shares in these companies. So since you are the owner, you get the dividends. It's paying 5.25 this year.
Right.
Not bad.
Laurel chimes in, no charge ever to learn these strategies. I know who that is. She's been really good in the chat room.
Yeah.
Laurel, you're doing a great job. Laurel, you're doing a great job. So that's a good, yeah, exactly. Laurel, why don't you tell who Laurel is?
Yeah, Laurel's my business partner. She's hanging out in Santa Barbara right now, kicking back and just enjoying life. But she's pounding the pavement and spreading the word down there, too, and trying to get all this information out.
Is there any place that, if somebody reaches you, that you can help them because of licensing or something, or is your ability to help people anywhere in the country?
Anywhere in the country.
Okay, so someone can call in and get your advice or opinions or whatever, and you can educate them on your. But if they do get involved with some of the investment opportunities, can you do that for anybody all around, or
Worldwide.
Okay, so you're able to help anybody anywhere.
Now, we also, part of my company, too, since we are always looking to help other people.
Sure.
We have the insurance division that we have, but we're governed by the U.S. government, so that's where they regulate life insurance. But
Okay.
we do have one that we can work with foreign nationals.
Okay.
And we end up using our mother company, which is located in the Cayman Islands. So foreign nationals could use this exact same strategy, too.
The old classes in the Cayman Islands, that'd be a pretty cool place to do a seminar. I pack my bags to go to the Cayman Islands. It'd be pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Listen, give your contact information one more time, please.
Okay, so like I said, my Facebook page is Be Big, Be Your Own Banker. And then the best way to reach me is at my direct email, which is bbarchie@bbigfinancial.com. Like I said, just reach out to me. We'll schedule a Zoom, and I'll explain to you how these strategies work.
One-on-one conversation, but keep in mind, every conversation we have with somebody, every situation is different. So just know that what he may advise you on is going to be different that he talks to the next person about. Just keep that in mind.
But everybody can use it.
Everybody can use it. And what's your closing line? If I can do this, show me the money. Besides, show me the money.
If I can do this, anybody can do this.
All right, very good. Bernard, thanks for stopping in. We're going to do this again.
Appreciate it.
Because I love the fact that we can do little tidbits. Maybe we can share some stuff with people. Better yet, if you be big, be your own banker. There you go. We really should talk about you doing some stuff out of the studio, though. Much bigger
I'm
audience.
excited about
so,
that. Absolutely.
Want to be podcaster. I'll train them yet. I'll educate them. Anyway, thank you for watching. Great stuff today. Thank you for stopping. We're going to do this again. Everybody out there, thank you for watching. Hey, guess what? When we come back from break, I'm going to have my first ever, God, I can't speak, Emmy award-winning director here on the set to interview. I'm so stoked about that. You're watching Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. Hey, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Do you miss the taste of classic Italian food? Marsigliano's Pizza and More was recently voted number 29 in the country for its great tasting pizza, pastas, parmesanas, strombolis, and desserts. If it's not on the menu, owner Richie will have it made for you. Marsigliano's can now take care of all your catering needs. Marsigliano's is located at 8125 West Sahara Avenue. Whether it's dine-in, take-out, or delivery, you'll love the food and keep coming back. Call 702-979-9222. That's 702-979-9222 to enjoy the best Italian food in Vegas.
Go Live Vegas Studios, a unique multi-camera social media virtual content creators paradise. We offer high-end services using live streaming and film production for your personal or corporate, commercial or event and campaign needs. Pre-record or live stream to your audience on multiple social media platforms simultaneously. Fun and interactive with social media comments, phone lines, live remotes, audio Foley sounds, and Snapchat filters. Be creative, get recognized, and make money. We help you by providing an all in-house production team. Visit our website at golive.vegas.
Hey, welcome back to Aaron's Hour. My God, I sound worse than, who's it? Not who's it? Oscar the Grouch. That's what I sound like right now. Not the Cookie Monster. Everybody loves Cookie Monster. Welcome back to Aaron's Hour with yours truly, Aaron Phillips. Tell you what, we got a good show going, and I hate to stop. We're not stopping it. You're welcome, Laurel. I'll send you my bill. No, my bill's already been paid. Joining me now at the podium, my first ever Emmy Award-winning guest I have with me, courtesy of Aaron Elikis, who knows Kelly and was kind enough to make a connection. Kelly Schwarze or Schwartz? Schwarze.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, being in the East Coast, I throw letters in wherever the hell I want to, so I wasn't sure. So Kelly Schwarze joins me. Welcome.
Hey, thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure, man. So, you know, with your background, I always like to ask people, where do you get started? How did you get started in this? I mean, what drew you into the field you're in? Let's go back to wherever you think the aha moment was.
You know, when I was a kid, my dad brought home a video camera, and it was the ones you had to plug into like a VHS recording machine. And yeah, so I learned, I was around cameras from an early age.
Okay.
You know, and so we were always playing around with cameras and, you know, doing little videos and things like that. So I kind of gravitated to that on a creative level.
Now, did you go to school to study this further?
Well, yeah, so I went to college, and then I dropped out of college to go work for Warner Brothers. You
Really?
know?
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Most people don't drop out of school to go to work for Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Well, it wasn't a glamorous job, but I mean, I thought
No, but you got your foot in the door with Warner
I thought I
Brothers.
hit the jackpot.
Right on. So what did you do for them when you first got hired?
I was getting lunch, running laundry, and I remember one time I had to drop the laundry off at set, and they were shooting this big scene downtown Las Vegas. It was before Fremont had the top, you know?
Oh, sure. Oh,
so,
yeah.
So there was a car scene. The cops had a shootout, all this cool
Wow.
stuff. I seen the director go, cut, everybody back to one. And I was standing there with his laundry bag, and I said, I want to do what that guy does.
What was the movie? Do you remember what movie?
It was a TV show called The Strip.
I remember that show.
Yeah. I can't even remember who was in it.
but James Caan was in a show that was called Vegas.
Yeah,
but I remember the strip.
Yeah.
God, what was it? It wasn't the same guy that was in the old SWAT TV show originally, black hair.
It probably was.
Anyway,
Yeah.
our producer will find it for me because he's that kind of guy. Well, that's cool. So you were bitten right there at that point, knowing that this was a direction and the excitement of doing all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it was just fun. It was cool. It was like, you know, like a kid playing with a big toy.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Everybody's a part, right?
That's right.
I'm watching, I don't know if you've seen it on Amazon Prime, The Offer.
Have not started watching The Offer yet.
You know about it.
I do know about it.
I've
yeah.
been watching it. Man, I mean, all the behind the scenes. This is from the perspective of the producer in trying to make that film at a time where the
Right.
mafia was, well, not that they aren't, so I got to be careful how I say this so I don't get a horse's head in my bed. But what they were trying to do and not have that The Godfather filmed. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about because I think I just watched episode 5 or 6 when they just started filming and they're showing all the behind the scenes stuff and whatnot. So I can understand getting that bug walking onto the set.
Yeah, there's something magical about it. You know, we all grew up with cinema, you know, for the most
Right.
part, and you know, I think there's something magical about the thing you can create. So just having that control to be able to create those stories are a lot of fun.
Right on, right on. All right, so what was your first project? Do you remember your very first project that you did?
Well, I mean, we were filming back in high school. You know, my buddies
Okay.
would ditch school and we'd go, go to the desert and film like little videos. But I think our first like serious movie was this little movie we shot, and it was our first like feature film. And we ran press releases, and next thing you know, we had to write up in the newspaper. And then through it, I met a guy named Bob Wagner, who was a producer and director on like some of the old Star Trek shows and Sequest. And so it was a cool. He kind of gave me some tips. He came to our first premiere, and it had kind of a cool feeling. So
Then that kind of had to make you feel like you've already accomplished something when somebody of that nature says, "All right, I'm going to go see what these guys have."
I'm always shocked to see the professionals who are or legendary professionals who've taken time for me.
But that's got to that's got to make you feel, even from the very beginning, as today. I mean, you're obviously, your resume speaks for itself, but to still have people today come up to you, maybe your idols, maybe people who you pattern your work after, come up to you and say, "You know what, Kelly, that's pretty good. I'm going to come watch this."
Yeah, no, it's cool, especially when you're sitting in an audience and you're like sitting on pins and needle going, "I hope this doesn't suck."
Right, you're watching everybody else instead of the movie, right?
Right, exactly.
So that feeling had to be good. So after that, Warner Brothers, how long after that laundry running job, when you saw this set in action here in Vegas, when did you take that next step and now start doing some serious stuff?
It was pretty much immediately after that. I mean, I knew I wasn't going to go back to school. Once I was out, I was like, that's it. I got why go to film school? I'm kind of working in it. So I started a production company. We started making movies.
Okay. Now we have a picture up of you accepting your Emmy.
There I am.
And what was this? Just let everybody know again what this Emmy was for.
Well, surprisingly, this was not that glamorous, but it was a beautiful campaign.
It's an Emmy award. What's the difference?
We actually won. Our company won. Thank you.
That's right.
We won for a PSA, like commercial campaign for the state of Nevada.
Oh, right on. And how long ago was that?
It was back in 2019.
Okay, so not too long ago.
And I've been nominated a handful of times, and it's funny. I had a documentary. My very first nomination was for a documentary on Vietnam that I had produced with my dad before he passed. And it was Father's Day. I was sitting there. We had to go through the whole ceremony, and we didn't win. We lost, and it was like. But my dad joked with it. He was like, "This is more stressful than Vietnam itself." It's called Dad's Vietnam. It's on Amazon.
Oh, is it a full feature?
It's actually a short.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a
That's
short.
like a documentary kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like? I got to ask this question because, when you see the National TV Awards, and nominee is X, Y, and they're all smiling, and then the winner gets announced, and everybody else, they keep the camera on them, and the winners don't win. How tough is it to just keep smiling when your name is not called?
I think the most there it is, Dad's Vietnam. Yeah, I think it's usually, I think, you have to come outside of yourself and say, someday I'll be there and people are going to have to sit and watch me win something, so I think but it is difficult. I think, it's emotional because you build up to that point and then you get so close and then.
Is that where you learned ventriloquism? I heard about that. Hey, you son of a bitch, you're winning my award. Yay.
Yeah,
is that kind of where you do that?
Usually I just focus on the food. The food's usually pretty good, and the drinks.
Of course. That's always the best thing. But you would never consider running up on stage and slapping the host, would you? I had to ask.
Never.
Okay, I had to ask that question.
Very sad.
I'm sure a lot of people were thinking about that as we sit here.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you own this.
I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? Uh-oh. Oh, wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. Keep my wife.
Right. I had lunch with a couple of gentlemen yesterday on a side note to the clip you just played. Do you follow football at all?
I do.
You know who Rick Upchurch is from the
Yeah.
Denver Broncos?
Yeah.
He and I had lunch with another gentleman, and we're developing a show, hopefully, about health and mental illness and stuff. And we were talking about that incident. They firmly believe that whole incident that happened at the Oscars was what we would say in the wrestling industry, made up.
Could be.
When you consider, like, immediately afterwards, Chris Rock went on a tour, and all of a sudden his shows were sold out immediately. I have a hard time believing it was made up because if you're going to make something up like that, you don't slap somebody as right on as Will Smith connected with Chris Rock, if you ask me. Because I've seen a lot of moves that are not real in wrestling or botched. You don't hit somebody that square if it's fake, so to speak, as seasoned actors.
And he worked very hard to get to that point,
Yes.
and that was that would have been a huge risk,
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Anyway, I digress. I ask stupid, silly shit like that all the time. The Indie Film Factory, let's talk about that. That's your studio.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
my wife and I started it about 11, 12 years ago.
Okay, and that's here in town, right?
It is, yeah. We've been
Okay.
producing feature films and TV shows and all that good stuff through there, yeah.
If you need a host or an MC or
There you go.
voiceover friend, dude, I'm right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, what did you do? What did you hit? You didn't disconnect us, did you? Jeez.
I broke it.
He only had one job, for Christ's sakes.
I broke it. I knew I was going to do that today.
Yeah, you know. But so talk about some of the projects that you do out of your studio.
Yeah, so we create feature film content. We have a distributor. We sell all over the world, different languages. And our last feature did pretty good. A movie called Abigail Haunting, which was on Amazon. It was like the #1 and #2 on Amazon for Memorial Day weekend. Now the pandemic, certainly helped because people were at home watching stuff. So during 2020, our movie was killing it. So we have a new movie coming out later next year called Darkest of Lies.
Okay.
It's another supernatural kind of thriller type film.
Who would you like to work with that you haven't with yet?
I'm a big Jeff Goldblum fan. I've worked with him on an interview, but I've never worked with him on a narrative, and I think that would be pretty outstanding.
He's funny in those apartment commercials.
He is
that
funny.
is on.
But he's a very nice man and very, very courteous. But I would love to work with him at some point.
On.
That's my vision board thing.
That's that's on your vision board?
Yeah.
He scared my wife in The Fly. The Fly when he did that years ago.
Of course.
Man,
of course.
We can't watch that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, he does such a great job. He just scares the crap out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what is your bucket list project that you want to work on?
I love to do period piece. I've got a lot of ideas for period piece. They're just so expensive, and especially at an independent level. So I think for me to be able to play with anything, I'd love to do a Western.
Gotcha.
I would love to do a Western. And just do something really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Especially here in the desert. You got enough sawgrass and tumbleweed and dirt to do it out there, right?
Absolutely.
All right, we're gonna step aside for another break. What is that? Go ahead, keep typing. Go ahead, keep typing. I'll stretch it. Keep typing. This is what's called vamping. Well, type correctly so I can read what the hell you're typing if you don't mind. My son is looking into the film industry. I know.
I think I know the question.
There you go.
Where to get started in the film industry, I would say the first thing you got to do is just try to read screenplays. Read screenplays and learn as much as you can about just marketing. I think you get out of film school, last thing you're thinking is about the business side of it.
Right.
But 90% of it's business, logistics. Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. All right, we're going to step aside for a break. When we come back, we're going to talk more with Kelly because not only does he stuff behind the camera, but in case you didn't know this, he's also written a couple of books, too. He's well-rounded that way. I should give him a free copy of my book and have him see what he thinks about that.
Absolutely.
I don't know. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for someone to provide training to your sales staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality, Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronphillipsvoice.com and book me for your next event or training needs.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Do you miss the taste of classic Italian food? Marsigliano's Pizza and More was recently voted number 29 in the country for its great tasting pizza, pastas, parmesanas, strombolis, and desserts. If it's not on the menu, owner Richie will have it made for you. Marsigliano's can now take care of all your catering needs. Marsigliano's is located at 8125 West Sahara Avenue. Whether it's dine-in, take-out, or delivery, you'll love the food and keep coming back. Call 702-979-9222. That's 702-979-9222 to enjoy the best Italian food in Vegas.
Go Live Vegas Studios, a unique multi-camera social media virtual content creators paradise. We offer high-end services using live streaming and film production for your personal or corporate, commercial or event and campaign needs. Pre-record or live stream to your audience on multiple social media platforms simultaneously. Fun and interactive with social media comments, phone lines, live remotes, audio Foley sounds, and Snapchat filters. Be creative, get recognized, and make money. We help you by providing an all in-house production team. Visit our website at golive.vegas.
All right, we are back. We weren't sure we had music. All right. My guest with me, Kelly Schwarze. He's an Emmy award-winning producer, independent film, successful guy, studio here in town for 13 years. He's done it all. Real quickly, Let My Voice Speak to You, now available on Amazon. It's a story of inspiration, education, laughter. Details the things I learned about going from 354 pounds to 215 pounds and getting healthy. It's available on Amazon under the title Let My Voice Speak to You, $6.99.
Oh my God.
Yeah, baby. And if you want a hard copy autographed, you just have to email me at my email at aaronphillipslv2018 @gmail, or you can message me through Facebook. And Kelly's been gracious enough to tell me he's going to get a copy and put up a verified testimonial up for me, and I appreciate that. All right. Speaking of books, and this is how we got on the topic of my book during break, you also have authored a couple of books. Talk about them.
Well, I was getting hit up all the time for questions about filmmaking. So
Sure.
I said, you know what, I'm going to put this in book form because that's a lot easier than, sometimes talking through the same information over and over again.
Sure.
So I've written...
Is this a kissing book?
So, I've done a few books about filmmaking, the topic, everything from distribution to business planning. I'm starting to dabble a little bit into some of the creative aspects of it. But for me, the business side is always the most important,
Sure.
especially for independent filmmakers. So I wrote a book called What Film Schools Don't Tell You, and the other one's called A Filmmaking Mindset. I have another one coming out, but I haven't had the title ready yet. So
Gotcha.
I'll have something out next.
Is it like the books, like a trilogy set, the one logically follows the other, or they're just completely different topicals?
Well, they all kind of, they're complementing
Sure.
to each other, but they're, they try to, some of the information, like my second filmmaking book was a consolidation of the first one. The
Gotcha.
first one's a lot.
Sure.
So a lot of people were saying, it's a lot of information. I need something just more specific on this. So I'm trying to, section out areas of the topics that I talk about and be able to
Gotcha.
give them in smaller palettes. And I write some fiction. I write a book called Myron Pesky. It's a middle school book. And there it is. Oh, that's one of my books. Yeah, Film School. Yeah. That's
Now,
it.
where can folks get copies of your books?
All the books are on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get them. They're available, and like this book here is in Target, and you can see it in a lot of retailers online.
Okay. Now, I know you're on Facebook because you and I connected on Facebook. What other ways can folks reach out to you to learn whatever, get you in touch with you about your studio, whatever?
Yeah, so we are at indiefilmfactory.com. That's our
Okay.
website, and then we're IFF Factory on Instagram.
Okay.
And then people can search Indie Film Factory on Facebook.
If you just type it in Google, it'll get all the sites. Here you go. There's a picture there, Indie Film Factory.
Yeah.
Now, where's the studio roughly located in town?
We're centrally located on Desert Inn in Valley View.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I know where that corner is.
It's like the big warehouse area of Las Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, Aaron's been there? How'd you get in there? How did he let you in there?
VIP over here.
Very impotent. Anyway, no, that's good. I would love to come down and see this. I'm so intrigued by
Anytime.
all of that stuff.
Yeah, anytime.
I mark out for that stuff. I really do, just to see the like when you saw the behind the scenes that first time, just to see how stuff is done. You wouldn't like when you walked into the studio. Did you picture this to be what it was coming in?
Very impressive.
Yeah.
It's a very oh wow.
Yeah,
This is cool.
So it's kind of the same thing I would think, like when you walked on that set that first time. So I'm very intrigued behind the scenes stuff.
I love you.
Don't give it away. My daughter is a sound designer. She went to Las Vegas Academy here in town, University of North Carolina School of the Arts. She was an A2. She just left Disney, Frozen. She was touring with that company. Now she's working with a company up in Utah, working regional projects now. So I get to see it from her perspective, work that soundboard. She's taking us on tours behind the stage. This is theater. It's a little different in what you're talking about, but still, the imagery. You have to have some imagination for this stuff to put your thoughts first on paper than in front of a camera, and really to be able to express what you want people to see through the eye of a lens, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it just takes time. I mean, you develop it over time. So, your first film's not going to be the, gushing success that,
Right.
we all think it is, but it takes time. And over time, you build a catalog of things, you get better at what you do, and it becomes a bit more pragmatic in terms of how you produce content. So you're not so emotionally attached to the content when you start. You have to make changes. I mean,
Right.
filmmaking is about compromise. I mean,
Right.
I would say a lot of it's about compromise. And you have to be able to be flexible in that.
You're
respect.
changing on the fly a lot. Because
Always.
if you're watching as a director, you're watching a scene either live or you're watching it through that camera box pretty much. You don't like something, you're going to go back and change it again until it's the way you want it.
I just came off of a week-long giant commercial project.
Okay.
And that project, we had tons of people involved and extras and stuff. And I had to make decisions on the fly because this wasn't working or that wasn't
Sure.
working. And you're constantly evolving. And I
Right.
kind of like that about production in some way. It's kind of like clay.
So I have a couple of questions coming up here on the teleprompter. I'll ask the easy one first. How much money does it cost to make a movie?
Well, I mean, it can cost really whatever you can afford to make it, but I would say on a starting level, people on average will start, micro budget filmmakers will spend about $15,000 to $20,000.
Out of pocket, pretty much?
Yeah,
or-
and that's to feed your cast and crew.
Sure.
Maybe pay them a little bit of money. And that's just about it. But then you're begging, borrowing, and stealing
Right.
everything else. And then, of course, budgets can go all the way up. I tell filmmakers, there's really no difference these days between making a movie that costs, let's say, $30,000 and like $3 million, because the market's the same. So
Right.
you might as well be on the lower end of that because it's easier to recoup your investment as
Sure.
opposed to trying to go out and raise that kind of money.
Gotcha.
So I think make your movies as cheap as possible.
Gotcha. My friend Jennifer McCord, who's in Texas right now visiting her dad, she asks, do you know Nicolas Cage? He's one of her favorite actors.
I don't know Nicolas Cage, but I know a few filmmakers that work with them regularly.
There you go.
Yeah.
How or where do you learn to write a script?
Writing a script is about downloading scripts of movies that you like and reading them and just spending some time with them. And you learn how it's formatted, you learn how dialogue is presented, and you learn how action is portrayed in the script.
Okay. You mentioned distribution and running you heard Bernard earlier.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you're selling, it's all about distribution, getting the word out there. So now you've got the movie in the can. It's done, it's finished, it's polished. Talk about what it takes now, the next step, distribution, getting it out there. How does all that work?
Well, there's two ways to distribute your film. You can go through a distributor, and usually you have to do that by submitting your content to them. And if they like it and it fits their catalog, they may take it on.
Okay.
And that's a whole nother conversation because, and then there's aggregators now, and aggregators are companies that you basically pay a flat fee to, and they distribute it out. And the good thing is today with all the VOD channels, there's endless opportunities
Sure.
to get your content out
Sure.
there. Something your last guest said was like planting seeds. Well, movie making is the same way.
Right.
You're not going to make a lot of money on that one film.
Right.
But over time, it's compound interest. The more films you add to the market, the more properties you continuously put into the pipeline,
Right.
they start generating revenue. And then
Right.
your distributor or the aggregator sends you checks every quarter.
Content.
And it's your content.
Right.
Yeah,
It's all
absolutely.
about content.
Right.
Well, he had a passion for it there, Mr. Producer. Apparently somebody's asking, why do you do it? What's your passion behind filmmaking?
I love telling stories, regardless if it's film or writing books.
Right.
Film has just been one of the mediums that's been the most exciting of them all.
Right on.
But as I get older, I really enjoy drinking my coffee and writing my books from home.
That's right. It's funny how that changes after a while. I know you're crunched for time, so I'm going to wrap up the segment so we can get out of here. I know we've barely scratched the surface. Maybe the next time we'll set up, I'll come down to the studio and maybe do a follow-up interview. We'll get
Yeah,
Aaron
sure.
in tow. We'll record it and do something out of your studio.
Love it.
Kind of get it out there.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for
Kelly,
having me
thank
on.
you for coming
Yeah.
on. The honor's been mine. Appreciate it
Thank you.
so much. All right, you're watching Aaron's Hour. We are running along, which is okay, which I told you we would. When we come back on the other side, we're going to play the interview that I did this past week with my good friend Richie Marsigliano, owner of Marsigliano's Pizzeria, more located on West Sahara and Cimarron. Good stuff. He's got some good food, and he is one of our sponsors. So when we come back, we're going to do that right after this.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Award-winning Las Vegas radio show host Aaron Phillips. Having appeared on several television and radio shows, produced and inducted into the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame. Aaron shares his experiences across a broad spectrum of success and challenges through divine intervention and hope. In his new book, Let My Voice Speak to You, Stories from a Hall of Fame Radio Personality, learn how Aaron strives for his dreams while struggling with his weight, health issues, all while taking care of his family.
My life was about to be interrupted with a major medical emergency and decimating prognosis that would prove to be not only life-threatening, but also life-saving. I began to notice some significant physical changes in my body. Those symptoms included experiencing an uncontrollable shaking of my body and profuse sweating.
Aaron's personal stories of transformation remind us, with faith, all things are possible.
Most likely, my life will parallel your life in many ways. As we start on our journey, we are a biological compilation of our parents. As such, we are a combination of their genetic makeup. Added to the mix is that we can become complacent and just simply settle in. Unfortunately, one of the demonstrations of satisfaction can be the accumulation of additional weight.
Call now or visit AaronPhillipsVoice.com or on Amazon to order your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, Stories from a Hall of Fame Radio Personality. Aaron spent the last 3 years writing his book and decided to share his story to help bring hope and inspiration to everyone who reads it. Whether you're a young broadcasting student looking for guidance or seasoned professional looking for inspiration, you'll find it in Let My Voice Speak to You, Stories from a Hall of Fame Radio Personality. From 350 to 200-pound weight loss, people are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, Stories from a Hall of Fame Radio Personality. Order now.
Hey, the day we stop dreaming is the day we die.
Go Live Vegas Studios, a unique multi-camera social media virtual content creators paradise. We offer high-end services using live streaming and film production for your personal or corporate, commercial or event and campaign needs. Pre-record or live stream to your audience on multiple social media platforms simultaneously. Fun and interactive with social media comments, phone lines, live remotes, audio Foley sounds, and Snapchat filters. Be creative, get recognized, and make money. We help you by providing an all in-house production team. Visit our website at golive.vegas.
All right, welcome back. Once again, I want to thank my guests. I have a caller calling in right now. All right. Caller, is this my buddy Richie? Richie in Minnesota. How are you, Richie? Richie. All right. I don't know what happened, but I cannot hear Richie. All right. Meet Richie. Richie, are you there, Richie? He's punching numbers. All right, there you go. He hung up. All right. This past week, I did an interview with Richie Marsigliano from Marsigliano's Pizzeria and More. Check it out. Thank you, Aaron. We appreciate it. Throwing it to me here in the studio. I'm Aaron Phillips. I'm on site now at Marsigliano's Pizzeria and More, located right here in beautiful Las Vegas, Sahara and Cimarron on the southeast corner, right? Is that right?
I believe so. Yes, you are right, Aaron.
Richie Marsigliano, the proud owner of this great establishment. I've known Richie a number of years, and I love this place. You guys hear me talking about it all the time. The pizza, the chicken parm, and the fact that I even had my dad's 80th birthday
yes,
here.
Yes, you did. We closed the restaurant just
we
for
did
Aaron's
just
dad.
for that's right for Aaron's dad. Closed down the restaurant.
Yes, we did. He was a little upset that night when he walked in, but we had it done.
He was surprised. We got him.
Yes,
I got him after all these years. As a matter of fact, my producer Aaron back in the studio. You were here that night, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. You were here with Raquel, or you couldn't make it. I'm pretty sure, Aaron. So you'll let me know when we throw it back to the studio. But anyway, Thank you for making time. I know your schedule's nuts.
Yes.
And I try to get you into the studio on a Saturday, but this is great to be. Yeah, I know. Thankfully, you're busy.
Yes.
That's why we can't make it work, right?
I appreciate that.
So, Richie, let's give a little background to our audience. I know you're originally from Staten Island, but kind of go from there. Staten Island, what brought you to Vegas, and why the restaurant business?
I came out to Vegas in 2000 for other business ventures. The pizzeria came into play about 3 years ago, me getting a job in the pizzeria. I liked it. It came real natural. So then I decided to open one. And 2.5 years ago we did. Unfortunately, it was at the worst time of the world because 3 months, 4 months after we opened, we had hit COVID.
That's right. And I was here for the grand opening.
Yes.
I did a show when I did Twin Brothers from Different Mothers with
Yes.
Neil. We were actually here with the grand opening show.
Yes, we did, and it was all looking great. And then 4 months later, COVID hit and the world shut down.
Yeah.
And
But you were still open, though.
Fortunately, we stayed open the whole time, and we struggled through it, and we made it. And then, we're here right now.
So what was it about the restaurant business? You said you had gotten a job in a restaurant, in a pizzeria previously, and I remember
Yes.
that because you and I first met
Yes.
at that other location. And then you stuck with it. What is it about this business that intrigues you, that you enjoy it, that you said, you know what, I can make a living at this and make a pretty good thing out of this?
Because growing up, I always knew in my mind that this is what I should do.
Okay.
For real.
Okay.
And that's really what it was. I always said that I liked it. It was something, but unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to do it.
Okay.
And me getting a job, like I said, in 2018 in the pizzeria where we met,
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to do it.
Right on.
And when I did it, it just came real natural. So then I stuck with it.
And of course, coming from Staten Island, I'm from Jersey,
Yes.
so we're brethren out there.
Exactly.
Staten Island is one of those places where pizza and Italian food is like a holiday.
It's everywhere.
You have
It's
to
all
know,
over.
You have to know.
I eat pizza every day.
Right?
It's every day.
It's like breathing air, having pizza back east, like where
Yes,
we're
it
from.
is. Yes, it is.
So you opened up 3 years ago. The pandemic hit. Now, what changed in the business for you operationally when the pandemic finally started loosening up and people were starting to get out a little bit more? How did you change your business concept, if at all, from pre-pandemic to post-pandemic for your customers?
I really didn't change nothing. I just stuck to what I was doing. That was all I was doing. I was just trying to put out a great product. Nothing better than but just my product, what I like to eat, how I want to eat. And lo and behold, slowly but surely, the people started coming, and everybody just built it and built it and
Right.
built it, and they're still coming. I'm still getting, I didn't know you here that long.
Right. Build it and they will come, from a famous movie, right?
Exactly.
And of course, one of the things that I love about coming here personally is how personable you are to everybody that walks in.
Exactly.
Now, like I said, you and I, we've known each other for a number of years, but anybody who walks in, whether it's a first-time customer or someone that's been around, you always treat everybody like it's the first time.
Exactly,
And
I
you
do.
can't find that around much anymore.
And that's why I'm here. I'm here every day, except one day only.
Tuesday.
Now, firstly, Tuesdays.
Tuesday, I
The
know
only
that.
day. It's the only day. I finally got that. After 2.5 years, I get one day. But yeah, I make everybody feel like the way I want to feel.
And what's nice about it, and the camera being set up, I know you guys can all see behind us to the kitchen area and the counter. Great desserts back here. I don't know if we will get a shot of some of the cheesecake wedges back here, but it's a small location. For those of us where I come from, where you're,
Yes.
we would coin the phrase the old mom and pop style of restaurant.
Yes.
This is not Olive Garden. This is not the
No.
big restaurant. You have seating capacity for what, about 25 max?
Max on a good day. But I've actually stuck about 35 in here. We
Was that
closed
that
down
for my
for
party?
Almost.
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell. We have
come
some
on in.
folks walking in. Everybody
Yeah.
come on in. This makes our
Yeah.
interview even better. So come on in. No, we
Excuse
won't
me
put
one
you on
second.
camera, folks. Don't worry. You're good. But this is what makes it special is that it
Our
has
menus
that
are right here.
it has that local mom and pop feel for it
Yeah.
that people love coming in for, whether it's the first time or otherwise.
Yes.
Now, something that we have in your commercial and something that we post about and boast about, recently Yelp
Yes.
did a survey across the country. How did that come about for you to get involved in that in the
Okay.
first place?
And that there, I had no idea about it. There was not even a remote thing to say, hey, we're doing this for
Okay.
you, or nothing. It was February 12th. I
Of
got
this year?
Of this year.
Okay.
I got a text message from a friend
Okay.
that said, hey, you need to look at this. They just put it right out there 2 days before the Super Bowl, regardless.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And they did a national survey, and they took 100 pizzerias throughout the United States.
Okay.
And 6 of them came from Vegas, from Nevada.
Okay.
2 were up in Reno,
Okay.
and 4 here in Vegas.
In the valley,
itself,
okay.
in the valley. And out of the 4, we came up the highest. We came in, they placed us 29th in the whole United States.
But you were of the 4 here locally. You
We were number one.
You were number 1 of the
Yes.
4. So 29 out of 100 pizzerias across the country.
and being in business for 3 years roughly.
Yes.
That's a pretty darn good statement.
Yes. Yes,
And
it was.
do you know what the survey was about? Do you know what they asked
Well,
customers?
what it was is they took all the ratings
Okay.
and all the ratings from Yelp
Oh, gotcha.
for that moment in time and
Okay.
everything that was going on. And fortunately, at that moment in time, I had
Okay.
a straight 5-star rating.
So they went to all the reviews and stuff that
They
people
went to
had
the
left?
reviews
Oh,
and
wow.
to everything that the people left, and they took it throughout the whole United States.
Wow, I didn't realize
And
that.
yeah, that's how they pulled it off. And,
Right on.
and then they just did it, and then they put it out there.
So number 29 out of 100, number 1 out of the 4 here in Las Vegas.
Yes.
1 of 6 across the state of Nevada
Yes.
out of the 100. That's pretty darn good.
I try real hard.
Well,
I promise.
and you do, and you deliver. And in front of us, and I want to open one of these up, is the menu, which of course you can always find online on Marsigliano's Pizzeria and More. They're on Facebook, they're on Yelp, they're everywhere. We have the menu is online, but this is a pretty extensive menu, and I'm just going to open it up so hopefully you all can see just the inside. But what I want to stress about this, Rich, is that if someone comes in here and they want just a certain flavor that perhaps is not on the menu 100%,
I'll make them whatever they want.
that's the thing. I mean, as long as you have the ingredients, of course.
I make anything they want. I
So
promise.
this is like that. I don't want to give a plug to another restaurant, but it's like that hamburger chain that says "Have it your way,"
More or less. I'll make it the way they want it.
and it's available as long as he can do it. It is made, and I got to tell you, folks, I generally order the chicken parm dinner, and no joke, if the piece of chicken breast is not as big as this menu, it's not. I'm lying. I'm telling you, it's a big piece. Pasta. My wife loves the eggplant. You just got a hint as to what my order's got to
Yes.
be tonight. Anytime my wife knows I'm coming in here, Richie, she's like, "You're going to Marsigliano's. You know what you better bring home."
We appreciate it all the time.
So I got to take home a dinner. But here's the thing, folks. This is a place that your personal size. I want to talk about that for a second.
Good.
You offer great pizza, all the different sizes.
Yes.
But you also have that personal size. Talk
Yes.
about that for lunch
It's a
or anytime.
it's a little 5-inch pizza that I put into play back when I first started in the other restaurant, and it just went with it. And people like it. It's a 5-inch. It's something small,
Mm-hmm.
and boom. We make every pizza, every specialty pizza in that size.
Right.
So you can sample. People come in and they sample. They'll take 4 or 5 different ones
Okay.
just to have a sample of all of them.
My daughter and I, when she was here with us during the pandemic, we were out and about somewhere. We stopped in for one of those pizzas,
Yeah.
figuring it was like 11, 12 o'clock. We figured we would take it home. It didn't last past the parking lot.
No.
We dived into it here at the traffic light. And it's like, well, what are we going to do when we get home? It's like, well, nothing. We had
Exactly.
lunch right here in the car.
That's it.
So it is perfect. And you really do accommodate any size, any desire of taste that somebody, and you have desserts too besides the pastries. What else do you have?
All the desserts are homemade. We make the ricotta cheesecake. I make a tiramisu with chocolate mousse that nobody else makes. They're more or less, it's like a custard. And then we have cannolis.
Okay.
And
Ice cream?
Ice cream, yeah. We have Thrifty's ice cream. We do offer 14 flavors of Thrifty ice cream.
And you
for that.
have adult beverages available
Yes,
as well.
we do. We have beer and wine, the
Okay.
basic stuff. We offer that. We have dine-in all day long, every day. So on Sundays, the only day that we do close at 8 o'clock. We have to have some time. But more or less, we're open here every day from 10 to 9, and Fridays and Saturdays, we're open from 10 to 11.
And what's the phone number for people to call if they want delivery? Call ahead.
We have our own personal in-house delivery. You can use Grubhub or Uber, but we do have our own personal that we do. And the phone number is 702-979-9222.
You almost forgot your own number, did you?
Yes, I did.
I saw
I
that
don't
notification.
Yes.
Give it again, one more time.
702-979-9222.
Excellent. So call ahead. Now, one last thing that I sort of hinted on regarding my dad's surprise party. You do catering.
Yes, we do catering at all types, all sizes, from the 10 people up to 100 people. We do in-house stuff all the time. We do delivery, catering, setups, tear downs. We do the whole.
Now, I know you supported my wife's school.
Yes.
They had a party,
We
something
do.
going on.
Yes, we do.
You also have some establishments here. You have a gym to one side, and you have one of the kids' facilities.
Yes.
So you also help and support them?
We do. I support a lot of different organizations. We'll do whatever. We'll work with anybody's budget. I'm real easy. I try to make everything. I accommodate to everybody.
And it's affordable for the size meals that you get here, folks. I'm telling you, if you finish a meal that you get here and you don't end up taking some of it home, that's going to be very surprising.
Hey, I try hard. I try real hard.
And you do, and you succeed. Again, number 29 out of the country out of 100, number 1 of the 4 here in Las Vegas. And the best part for me, is I get to call you a friend.
Hey,
And I appreciate that.
No, we appreciate being
So
on
again,
the show.
so come on down, call, and listen. Tell them you heard us. You saw the interview. You saw the commercial on my show, Saturdays 12 to 1 on Go Live Vegas. Aaron's Hour show on Facebook. Download the Go Live Vegas mobile app because you can take us on the go. 80s music, the whole thing. Come in, tell Richie or Nick or any of the crew that's here that you saw the commercial or this interview, and they'll probably give you a pat on the back and extra napkins for your order. No, only they'll do something.
No, I'll be happy that my money's went to good causes.
Well, see, we
Yes.
speak from the truth. Anyway, thanks for your time, buddy.
Thank
I
you
appreciate
very much
it.
for coming here.
I'm Aaron Phillips from Aaron's Hour. We're coming to you live from Marsigliano's right now to do this. So I'm going to throw it back to Aaron in the studio for Aaron's Hour to take it the rest of the way. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Come on in. Take it away, Aaron. All right. Thank you, Aaron. I've never thrown it to myself like that. That was interesting. Thank you, Richie. Marsigliano's Pizzeria and more. Go check him out. Southeast corner of Sahara and Cimarron. All right. Listen, thank everybody for watching. As always, I appreciate you so very much. Jennifer, it certainly is good. My guest next week is entertainer Lexi Bro, singer here in Vegas. We'll learn more about her, hear some of her music. That's it for today's show. I want to thank Kelly. I want to thank Bernard, Big B Financial. And I want to thank everybody out there for watching. I apologize, my voice has deteriorated. Hopefully next week I'll be back at full strength. Anyway, thank you for watching. As always, be kind to everybody. Why is that? We're all we have. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Aaron's Hour. See you next time. I'm Aaron Phillips here, and as I was finishing up with Richie, beautiful family walked in, and I found out that one of them has a future in broadcasting. Her name is Kaylin. Hi, Kaylin.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I found out that you and your family come here quite often, yes?
Yes.
And you like the food here?
I love the food.
What do you like? What's your favorite dish?
I like the pizza the most.
What's your favorite pizza?
Pepperoni and cheese.
And does Richie back there really make it the way you like it?
Yes.
Like how?
Like the crust will be like perfect, not like too crunchy or too hot, like soft. It's like that perfect in the middle.
Okay. How about the rest of the family? What do they like to eat while they're here?
What do you eat?
What does Mom like to eat?
Pizza. It's good all the way around.
How about your brother?
Pizza.
So everybody loves pizza.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, so on a scale of 1 to 10, if somebody watching right now is thinking about coming in on a scale of 1 to 10 being like out of this world, what would you rate the restaurant? So somebody says, you know what, if Caitlin, sorry, I keep slipping that T in there. If Caitlin gives it a whatever, then I got to get in there.
Probably like an 8 or a 9.
8 or a 9. So what does Richie have to do to get it to a 10? Put ice cream on the pizza?
That might be really good.
Of course, you know in the oven, the ice cream will melt, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell somebody out there, should they come down and try the food here?
Yes, they should.
All right. Very good. That's Kaylin. She's my new broadcasting partner now. I'm Aaron Phillips. Thanks for watching. Listen, you got to come down here and try it. Why? Because Kaylin said so.